This is The Other Side of Midnight. I'm Frank Morano. Well, this is exciting. Not only is the gentleman I'm privileged to be sitting across right now an incredibly successful actor, author, businessman, producer, director. In the last few years that we've been doing this show, he's the only one that can speak on both bagels and Mathis versus Sinatra with equal authority. He's appearing Saturday in the Lifetime original film How to Murder Your Husband. He's also pretty universally regarded as a super nice guy in a field which is not known for producing a lot of nice guys. And to the best of my knowledge, he's the only person to work with both Colonel Sanders and Laurence Olivier. It is a great deal of personal pleasure to welcome the one and only Steve Guttenberg. Steve, it's great to see you in person. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Frank. It's really nice to see you.
And now, are you aware that your book, The Guttenberg Bible, is only available at one branch of the New York Public Library, only the Mulberry Street branch?
I was aware of that.
You were?
Yes, I was. I actually requested the Mulberry branch. It's the only branch that actually serves cherry cola. If you want cherry cola, Mulberry branch. I just want to tell you that. But wait a minute. You're not Cousin Brucey. I was told I'm going to see Cousin Brucey. Wait a minit. Is this a joke? Are you joking? Is this a joke? Is this a joke?
If only I were Cousin Brucey. Trust me, I'd be a lot better dressed. You see, we have a Cousin Brucey cardboard cutout here. So I have a copy of your book, The Guttenberg Bible, arriving today, right? Because I thought...
That means you didn't read it.
Well, no, here, listen what I did. I was hoping to, get a tremendous souvenir, not only for me and the Morano household, but my one-year-old son, something to treasure years from now.
To leave behind when you go to the great studio of the sky.
Exactly. But
and he'll go like this. What's this? Throw it out.
So I bought this book, and I was excited to read it. It's not arriving till today. So I had to go and buy the electronic version of this book for $11. So not only did I purchase it and read it, I bought two copies, one in paper, one in electronic.
How much do you want?
Well, no, I
get it. I get it. I'm from New York. What do you need?
I'm going to have
I'll give you $11. That's my final offer.
A blank piece of paper that you can insert that I can insert into the book when it arrives later today. Tell me about How to Murder Your Husband. You are leading. It's not past tense. One of the most incredible acting careers in history. You've made a lot of films that have made over $100 million. Three Men and a Baby, Short Circuit, the Police Academy franchise, the remake of the Poseidon Adventure, which I really enjoyed. I was sorry to see what happened to the masseuse in that picture. But
happens.
Tell me this picture on the Lifetime Network Saturday, How to Murder Your Husband. What's it all about? Sybil Shepherd is in this with you, right?
Have you been drinking? I might just want to know right now. You don't, off the air. Tell me if you've been drinking. Anyway, you don't have to tell me on the air because people are watching.
This is the only time I'm sober. These 4 hours.
That's what I heard, and I'm really glad to be here. I got a call from my agent. Do you want to work with Sybil Shepherd? And I said, yeah. I'm a big fan of hers, from The Heartbreak Kid, Taxi Driver, Last Picture Show, and, of course, Moonlighting.
And Sybil. She was great on Sybil.
And Sybil, great show, yeah. So I read the script, and it's a fascinating story. And it's going to be on Lifetime, which I think does great movies, not only Christmas movies, but great movies about women. And women love murder. When you go home, be nice to your wife, because women love murder. So it's actually about a true story about Daniel and Nancy Brophy, who were broke, living up in Portland, real problems. So Nancy decides to take an insurance policy out on her husband, buy a gun online, and write a blog called How to Murder Your Husband. A month later, she kills Daniel, and looks pretty bad. So she allegedly killed him, but she was convicted. And she got convicted, I guess, June or July of 2022.
Oh, so once you're convicted, it's no longer alleged.
Well, she's appealing, murderer. So you have to say alleged.
I see. Got it. Yeah, so you're playing Daniel.
I'm playing Daniel. I get paid 75 out of 95, which basically means I had 1 day off a week. So I get to relax. The other days, you're up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So it's going to be this Saturday on the Lifetime Network, 8 o'clock Eastern.
And you can watch it on mylifetime.com if you don't get to watch it on a Saturday night. Let's say the baby's crying. Let's say your husband wants to have sex, once a year.
Or people are listening to Cousin Brucey.
Or people are listening to Cousin Brucey. You're not Cousin Brucey? Seriously?
If only.
I was seriously told that I was to see Cousin Brucey. So it's not a disappointment because I like you, but I'm just saying. Anyway, You can watch. The great thing about this streaming situation is that if you don't see it Saturday night, you can watch it another time. Whereas years ago, you couldn't do that.
Right. You miss it. You miss it. It's
you
gone.
miss it. It's gone. You're never going to see it again.
What do you
You're not. If you didn't see the last episode of MASH, you're not going to see it.
Right.
It's over.
Right. Now, what do you think is driving the surge of interest in the true crime genre? And we've now seen it in publishing. We've seen it in podcasting, television movies, and theatrical releases. The one thing that seems a sure bet in terms of ratings and in terms of making money, in terms of getting clicks or page turns, whatever, is true crime. What does it say about American culture that we're obsessed with real-life crimes?
Human being are bloodthirsty animals. It's the way it is, Frank. And that's just, we love blood and gore and killing and murder. You know, some of the most well-liked people in the world are criminals. Al Capone was well-liked in Chicago. And you can go on and on and on. People love murder, they love violence, and it's fun to watch, basically because it's not happening in your own house. I think if you have someone murdering people in your own house, you're probably not going to watch it in television.
That's true.
But most houses don't have that.
Hey, what was it like to work with Sybil Shepherd? Both as an actress, I think a lot of fans are familiar with her, but we haven't gotten to know her on a personal basis and work with her as you have. What's she like?
She is really kind of astounding. She walks in, first time I met her, we were doing makeup and hair tests. And they did great. They had fantastic ability to make us both look like the characters. She walks in, she's 5'11", she's gorgeous. She was a supermodel. She has all these incredibly iconic movies behind her. So I'm kind of intimidated.
Sure.
She sat down and I fell in love with her. She's charming, she's lovely. She has a great wit. She's got great intelligence, and she's Sybil Shepherd.
We're talking with Steve Guttenberg. Check him out Saturday in the Lifetime original film, How to Murder Your Husband. I've always heard that famous people, when they meet one another, the thing to do is act like you guys already know one another. Is that the case the first time you meet Sybil Shepherd?
First time I meet a famous person, I make out with them right away. I don't care who they are. I don't care.
All of a sudden, I'm thankful for my anonymity.
I don't care if it's Professor Irwin Corey. I will make out with him.
Including posthumously. You have to make out with them posthumously. That's terrific.
I think that if I was a fan of Sybil Shepherd, and still am, of course, and you, for the first few moments, I think you're like everybody else. Wow, I'm meeting Sybil Shepherd. Wow, I'm meeting Tom Selleck. Wow. You know, we're all basically audiences. So for the first couple of seconds, you're like, wow. And then you get to know the person and you realize that we're all the same, that we are all at work. We're trying to make the best of our lives. We're trying to make the world a better place. And we want to connect. And most people are like that. You know, there are people who are very private. There are celebrities that don't want to talk off screen, don't want to get to know you. But most people really are open and want to make a friend.
You alluded to the first time you meet Tom Selleck. Obviously, you did a terrific picture with he and Ted Danson, Three Men and a Baby.
And Three Men and a Little Lady.
And I know...
Cousin Brucey would have said that. I'm just saying.
But the reason I mentioned Three Men and a Baby is because I am an obsessive Star Trek fan, and by extension, I'm an obsessive Leonard Nimoy fan.
Okay.
A lot of people don't realize that Leonard Nimoy actually directed that picture. What's it like to work with Leonard Nimoy when he doesn't have pointed ears and he's behind the camera directing? A lot of us know him as such a powerful on-screen presence,
right,
but we don't necessarily picture him as a director. What was he like to work with as a director?
Leonard, first of all, those are his ears. They are strangely pointed. I have no idea why. He wears a hat most of the time. Leonard was a brilliant guy, incredibly friendly. The way I described him is a fireball inside an iceberg. He's laconic. He is stoic. He comes from a Russian background. And inside, he's funny and charming, and I miss him very much. Very intelligent. And he was an acting teacher. So as an actor, when you're working with him, he knows how to get inside you, how to make your talent come out the best way. He's able to hone your craft in a few minutes and find what you're missing and celebrate what you have. He was a really terrific guy. When we would go out to dinner, and I went out to dinner with him a lot, we would both get recognized, and he would say, when we get photographs taken, he goes, the Native Americans say, when someone takes your picture, you lose your soul. Guttenberg, you have like negative soul now. But I really enjoyed working with him. He was really smart, and he made that movie. And the wonderful part of that movie, 3 Men and a Baby, was probably 2 days after we wrapped, he had a finished picture. He was editing, which a lot of directors do, during the shooting, but there was no fat. So basically, he sat down 2 days after we shot and watched the movie. He was very, very talented.
The chemistry that you have in that film with the two other primary co-stars really jumps off the screen. It really seems like you guys are friends in real life. Are you just three really good actors, or did you guys actually become friends in real life?
We became friends. We actually had a great opportunity. We got up there, and we were supposed to have, I think, a week's rehearsal, then shoot. But the script wasn't ready. So we had 2 weeks to go out to dinner every night, hang out every day, go to the gym, hang out.
Gotcha.
And we got to know each other really well. Both Tom and Ted are genuinely wonderful guys. And Ted would always say, we're the same guy, and we'll never be in another movie together because we're basically the same person. But they are and will always be great guys.
You talk about three 1980s icons, right? I think you have to put Magnum PI, Cheers, and the Police Academy franchise on there. To have them all in two films like that is really something. There were two other films in the 1980s that were huge. Box office successes, critical successes, and it's rumored that you were offered a starring role in both of them. One is Josh in Big, the Tom Hanks role. The other is Peter Venkman, Bill Murray's role in Ghostbusters. True or false? Were you offered those roles?
Now, I'll tell you something. Your memory becomes a lot more golden as you get older. First of all, Tom Hanks was the only guy who could play Josh. I mean, he was incredible. But I did meet Penny, and Penny Marshall, and she said, I really would be very interested in you doing this movie. And I had another offer, and I took that offer without exploring it even. And with Ghostbusters, I don't think that's true. I know that my agent did call me and say that the casting director and Ivan Reitman were really interested in you because they didn't have the third guy. I guess Bill was holding out or something to that effect. And I was excited about doing it. But then I took another picture. I was really lucky. For about 17 years, I was not home for 10, 11 months a year. I was shooting all year, every day. I would finish on a Wednesday. I'd start again on a Thursday. And I was very, very fortunate to keep working. And I still am, I still do the same thing. I wake up in the morning, I have my coffee, I have my breakfast, I call a couple of friends, I speak to a couple of family members, and I go to work. And I've done the same thing for 47 years.
Not bad for a guy that was told at 16 by a fairly prominent agent that you're the last guy I would ever pick to be a movie star.
It's true. But my godfather, a guy named Michael Bell, helped me get into the business, and he introduced me to his agent. And it was right in front of the Time Warner Center. And I went up to their offices, and I sat down. I was really excited about being an actor. And he told his assistants and the other people to leave. And this big agent told me, just run to the elevator, run to Penn Station, and get out of here because you're the last guy I would ever pick to be a movie star. I didn't hear a word he said. I was 16 years old, and it was great.
So he tells you, you don't have the look, you don't have the talent, your name is ridiculous, right?
Too Italian.
And yet you have... You've succeeded in a field where I have to think that even becoming a working actor and making a living as a working actor is almost as rare as winning the lottery. How did you overcome what this big Hollywood agent, what his view of your talents and your look and your name was?
I'll answer it, then I'll just go on a tangent. Work ethic. It's really about showing up every day. Lou Gehrig used to say that he wasn't the greatest baseball player in the world, but he showed up every day. And that's what life is all about, just showing up. Thomas Edison would say, I'm not the most brilliant inventor in the world, but I come to the laboratory every day, and I sit there, and sometimes nothing happens. Sometimes something does. I'm like a 300 hitter. A 300 hitter strikes out or pops out 7 times out of 10. Only 3 times a bat out of 10 does he get a hit. And the difference between a 250 hitter and a 300 hitter is one hit every 20 times at bat. So my deal is I show up every day. And the fact is, I'm amazed, and any of us, you're a talent, I'm talent. Any actor that makes a living, all the clothes on your back, the food that your kids eat, the rings that your wife wears, the heat in your house is all from being a piece of talent. And the odds are so small to make a living. I'm so grateful every day. I've not been a waiter since I'm 19 years old. And I've been a waiter. I was a pool guy. I sold cars. I sold encyclopedias, pots and pans. I worked at a stable. I'm so thrilled that I can make a living doing what I love in my craft. Probably the same with you. The chances are so small that any actor makes a living. There are 160,000 actors in the SAG-AFTRA Guild. Maybe 1 or 2% make a living. I mean, it's unbelievable. And there are so many great actors in the world. Go to Minnesota, go to Minneapolis to the Guthrie, go overseas and go to some great French theaters, go to Japan and watch some great theaters. Australia, go to anywhere in Long Island, go to Off-Broadway, go to New Brunswick, where I'm actually going to do a show at the George Street Playhouse. There are great actors everywhere, but it takes a different blood to leave your family and go to Hollywood and get discovered. It takes a different animal, and I'm so grateful that I can make a living being an actor.
Two things. One, you're going to have to give me your card because I am in the market for some nonstick pans. So if you end up going back into the pot and pan
I've got
business,
old Teflon in the car right now. I'll give it to you at a discount, 50% off, all cash. I don't take any of your bull checks because I don't know all about you, cousin Brucey. I know about you, cousin Brucey. Oh, wait a minute.
But I was going to ask you what advice, what career advice or life advice you'd give to people that aren't in radio or aren't in acting, and it seems like it's just that, is show up, keep going, and work ethic.
My advice is don't think, just do. Take moments alone to think, but then just do. Just keep doing, keep selling, keep showing up, keep going to work. Get there early. Come in early. If you're working at an office, get there early. Let the boss see you're there early. Sometimes, a friend of mine who has a big company says, I don't hire people for what they can do. I hire them for who they are. I can teach you how to fly the space shuttle. I can't teach you to show up early. I can't teach you to not lie. I can't teach you to not cheat, but I can teach you to be the CEO of this company. So I always say, don't think, just do. Think by yourself. Take some moments to figure out your plan and just keep going.
Talking with Steve Guttenberg. See him Saturday on the Lifetime channel in How to Murder Your Husband alongside Sybil Shepherd. It's a true story, so you can compare your version, your viewing of the film to how the appeal in the trial turns out. If you show up early, though, Steve, I'm guessing it's a lot easier to sneak onto the Paramount lot, right?
Yeah, that's what I did. When I was 17, I snuck onto the Paramount lot. I commandeered my own office, made my own phone calls, and found myself into a job.
That is the kind of thing that you only read about in novels. That's the kind of thing you only see in movies. You did it in real life.
Yeah, I was very lucky.
I know one of the first major paid acting gigs you ever did was a Kentucky Fried Chicken commercial.
My first job.
I'm curious, did that build a brand loyalty with Kentucky Fried Chicken? If you have a choice of, say, going to Rogers Chicken or KFC or some other, whatever, Chick-fil-A or KFC, do you stick with KFC because of their early role in boosting your career?
I did this commercial. I sat right next to Harlan, who is the colonel, and he fainted, and I caught him. And I was so nervous that I caught him, and he actually was revived and was so angry that he did faint because it was so hot. We were shooting the Rose Bowl. And after that, the director said, Guttenberg, you're golden. I don't recognize any other fried chicken, whether it's Popeyes or any of those others. There's only one fried chicken. It's Kentucky Fried Chicken. And you better believe it, buddy.
The one thing that a lot of folks may not know about you is that in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina,
I don't wear underwear is the other thing that nobody knows.
Everybody knows that. Trust me.
Oh, shit.
But in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina, you spent a lot of time volunteering. I think you actually wrote a play about what occurred in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina.
I did. I went down there and I had the most extraordinary experience. I went down there as an anonymous volunteer. And I slept in the Astrodome after, and it was just an incredible experience. I was there for 3 weeks, and it was just unbelievable that our country didn't rescue these people sooner, that our country didn't drop 10,000 troops right there to help all those people. So I was up in Long Island, and I asked my mom and dad, do you think I should go down there? And they were really worried about me going down there. So we went to a sporting goods store, and I got heavy-duty gloves and boots and work pants. And I drove down to Houston because I first went down to New Orleans, and it was really hard to get in there. I did a couple of days in New Orleans, then I drove to Houston, and I spent 3 weeks down there at the Liberty Center. There were 20,000 people who had real problems, and I did security. I did babysitting. I worked in the food department. Wow. I worked in the medical department. I broke up a rape in the bathroom. I helped set up a barber shop. I slept next to the people. And then about 5 nights, I got to sleep at the Sam Houston Hotel. But it was an incredible experience, and it was wonderful to be down there as an anonymous person. I didn't go down as a celebrity, and I watched a lot of celebrities down there. And then I watched a lot of news people choose who they would speak to as if they were choosing melons. They would say, what's your problem? I lost my mom and I lost my sister. Okay, how about you? I lost my mom, my dad, and my sister. You're better. And they interviewed those people. And it was really a horrible experience to watch the media pick and choose who would be the better interview. And I watched a lot of celebrities do celebrity moments and photo ops, and that part was kind of off-putting.
I know, I can imagine. It must be a rare thing for you to be anonymous, generally.
It was, yeah, but the truth is, I really do believe anybody you put on if you don't stand out and try to stand out, I think even Elvis could have walked around Times Square without anybody knowing. If you make a spectacle of yourself, then people know who you are.
You are working all the time and doing a lot of great work. What do you do for fun? I know you've confessed your bagel enthusiasm before, but what do you do for fun? If you had leisure time, what would you be doing?
I like to spend time with my family. I love spending quiet time with my friends, just sitting and talking. I like to talk meaningfully. That's fun for me. I'm not a great small talker. A friend of mine who lives here in New York, whenever I see him, a few times ago, I don't know, about 10 years ago, he said, Stephen, you never, we always get really deep right away. And that's who I am. I talk meaningfully, and that's what I'm interested in. I mean, of course, I like working out, or, I like playing a little golf. I tell you what really makes me happy is making the people around me happy, is making everyone around me, my family, friends, people that I just meet, making their lives a little better. I like giving out money to homeless people. I love my friends Alan Jill Siegel taught me how to make tons of sandwiches and give them out to homeless in Santa Monica out there when I was living out there. I enjoy making other people happy. That is fun for me. That's my fun. I like spending my money on the people I love and making their lives easier. My best friend, one of my best friend, Joey, and we talk all the time about stuff. And, we always say, we just need a t-shirt and jeans, pair of sneakers. And, we're happy. And I got a buddy of mine, Liam, who we talk deeply about things. And we're both regular guys. We both just have sisters. And Liam and I always talk about normal stuff that makes us happy. And I got a friend, Epstein, And Liam is one of my best friends, and Epstein's one of my best friends. And Epstein and I can go to Houlihan's and, just enjoy sitting there doing nothing, or, Bennigan's, or any of the, Denny's, or some diner. I don't even know if Houlihan's is in business anymore, but
there's a handful in Jersey.
The Jersey.
Yeah.
But I like just spending time talking about normal stuff.
Finally, Stephen, I appreciate you being so generous with your time, and I'm going to be watching How to Murder Your Husband and making sure my wife doesn't watch it because we don't want
Tell
her having any
the
ideas.
title is How to Give Your Husband a Back Rub. That's what I told my wife. It's How to Give Your Husband a Back Rub.
It's a surefire way to get Rachel not to tune in.
Oh, yeah.
But you've grown up in New York. You've spent a lot of years.
Rachel, Jewish?
She's of Jewish derivation, but she's Christian.
Oh, she's Christian.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so you've experienced New York and California. Answer us once and for all. Right turn on red. Yes? No?
Dangerous. You have to be very careful. Right turn on red. You got to watch yourself, and be very, very careful. I would say that L.A., California, really great place to enjoy natural resources. The beach. Whenever I'm out there, I go in the water every day. I love the mountains. I love hiking. But it's it's the West. It's not as friendly. You have to work a little harder. East Coast, a little friendlier. You got to learn to not get hit by a car, not get hit by a taxi, and not wolf down your food, because then if you walk through the streets, you have a bad stomach. But the truth is about the world, there are nice people everywhere, and mothers in every country, every city. Mothers in L.A., mothers in New York, mothers upstate New York, mothers in London, mothers in Iran, mothers in North Korea. We're all the same people. Mothers want to make sure their kids are okay. They want to take them to Disneyland. We're all the same. The truth is, everyone is the same. We want to have nice lives. We want to give our kids good things. We want to be healthy. We want to be loving to our parents and friends. We're all the same everywhere. That's really the truth.
Steve, it is a real treat to have you on the program. It's a great, great pleasure to meet you in person. Best of luck with the film. I hope we can do this again soon.
I wish you and your family good health and success.
Thank you. This is The Other Side of Midnight. You want to comment on any portion of our conversation, you're welcome to give me a call, 1-800-848-9222. That's 800-848-9222. This is The Other Side of Midnight. Straight ahead.